We all worked pretty hard getting ready, but Vicky was like a slave. She'd run through her list of dives 4 times a day, and that's 125 dives, and that doesn't count climbing 35 steps to the tower and 10 to the springboard each time.
Almost right after the Olympic Games, I turned professional and toured with a professional water troupe, namely Buster Crabbe's aqua parades, in the United States and in Europe, and Hawaii also. And then after we toured, we kind of settled down, and I decided I wanted to start a family.
On the eve of December 31st, 1924, Theodore Manalo and Gertrude Taylor rang in the new year with a belated present from heaven. The youngest of twins and a San Francisco native, Vicky emanated energy.
I loved tumbling, and I loved dancing and anything that was physical like that. I didn't start diving until I was 16. I went to the Olympic Club in San Francisco. But anyway, I met one of the divers, Jack Lavery, and had a crush on him. And
followed him to the pool.
And he asked me, "Would you like to learn how to dive?" And I said, "Oh, sure." Anything, you know, to make points.
Enticed by the given aesthetics of the sport, not to mention the young male, the petite wonder was inspired to plunge and test the waters. Laverty had since introduced her to Coach Phil Patterson from the Fairmont on Nob Hill.
The way I learned how to dive was Phil Patterson said one workout. He said to me, he says, "All right," he says, "now you follow that diver and you just do everything she does."
Because of her Filipino heritage and socioeconomic class, Patterson took it upon himself for Vicky to undergo a few minor setbacks.
He spoke to my mother and had her permission for me to use her maiden name. You know, I didn't like that. He did not make me a member of the general Fairmont Hotel Swimming and Diving Club. He sort of made a separate little club called the Patterson School of Swimming and Diving, of which I was the only member.
Training inconsistently with Patterson and Sava, Phil encouraged her to meet with yet another new diving instructor, Lyle Draves, at the Athens Athletics Club in Oakland.
He started to talk to me about diving and explain to me, and I'd never had diving explained that way before, you know. And I thought, oh, gee, I'm going to have some real coaching for a change. So we worked on the basics primarily for quite a while, about maybe a month or two.
This positive aspect in her life encouraged her to return to diving under the Manalo name. But in May 1945, discrimination began to unfold. Lyle disputed the ACC's decision to not have Vicky compete at an upcoming diving meet. He left the club, headed straight to LA, and later on found out that his prodigy was restricted to compete because she was Filipino. In 1946, Vicky followed Lyle to Southern California and found herself adding a new last name.
And so I think I decided that after losing 2 previous coaches, I was going to hang on to this one. No.
Vicky had sparks in her eyes that not even the prejudice of the times could withstand between her husband, and diving.
We just had our goals in mind and just stuck to the goal.
The negative comments thrown in their direction fueled their passion to succeed. Together, they have won 2 Olympic gold medals, reared 4 sons, and have remained married for over 55 years.
Through the years, even after the children were born, I did some diving.
Asked if she would demonstrate her infamous springboard dive one last time, Vicky chuckles,
"I don't know, now it's been like probably about 20 years since I dived off of a diving board. I just like being home and watching television. And now our youngest son has a granddaughter and has a daughter, our granddaughter. And our days are busy taking care of her Monday through Friday, which is a joy. I have a good life, and God has blessed me so far with some longevity And I hope that I will have a little more longevity, but enjoy it in good health.